everybody, and really quick, just before this video starts, I would like to say this build is not. This is a build meant for a specific person, um, and it is not meant for the general people. So there might be some things you don't agree with. This is just what the specific person, the GrantskysGamers, wanted. So take that into consideration while you're watching the video. Enjoy. Hello everybody and welcome to the Gaming Retreat, where we provide a fun, unique retreat from the stresses of everyday life. And today I am bringing you another The Gaming Build episode of the Gaming Build series. There we go. Now I know I have been doing this series a lot. It is just because I love this series. Trust me, I will be changing some things up soon. I won't be doing these. I might do one every week just because I like them. But trust me, you will see some new content or some different content soon. So don't be afraid. This is taking over his channel. He's just turning into a tech channel, which I could be a tech channel. I would like that, but yeah, AMD, Nvidia, send me thanks. No, I'm just kidding. So today's build is the GrantskysGamers build. As you can see, this is a build from my friend Grant over at the GrantskysGamers. Go check him out. Go subscribe if you already haven't. Excellent YouTuber. He's awesome, and he has a very good computer. He has a 760 AMD 8 core. He has a pretty good build, but it's starting to get outdated, and he just wants something new. So I'm going with a price range of about $15,000 here, as GTX 760s are going for a lot on the market now for some reason. So that adds a little extra to his so far estimated $13,000 price on PC Part Picker. So we're just gonna, with that price in mind, let's go ahead and get into the build. So for the processor, we have the AMD FX 8358 core. This is the a little bit faster version, which is about $20 more, which you can overclock to even higher speeds. Let's go over to PC Part Picker and check that out. So AMD FX 8350 4.0 gigahertz 8-core processor. Now I did not go with an i7, as I was talking to Grant while I was making this build, and he said he'd rather have a little bit better GPU than a better processor. And AMD processors work just fine. Now I know all of you like Intel bias people out there will say, oh my gosh, Intel's so much better than AMD. It might be, but for price to performance, AMD is much better. Plus, Grant doesn't really need a processor. He's mainly doing gaming, and 4.0 gigahertz processor will be good. And, you know, he can always overclock that to about 4.5 if he needs to. You can always read this in the video if you want. I'm not going to go through all of that. This does not have hyper-threading. I'll just say that. So yeah, read this stuff if you want. You can always go to PC Part Picker and check this stuff out for yourself. So back over to Notepad for our one little thing before I end. What was I gonna say? Sorry, forgot about that. But this is for before I go on, this is for Grant's. This is a build for Grant. This is what Grant wanted. This isn't necessarily toward the most majority. This is just what Grant wanted in a build, and I know his his computer style a little bit. So, because I've been, friends with him for about 3 years now, 3 or 4, a long time. Well, not. I don't know how. I don't know how your standards of friendship go, but I think that's a pretty long time. So for the GPU, the main part of the build, the bones of the build, I guess you could call it, the favorite thing everybody wants to know. We went with the Gigabyte GeForce GTX 980 Ti 6GB video card. Now, some of you may be yelling at me and saying, well, Mr. Retreat, in your last build, you put the same card in, and you said you were going to go with different cards in every build, or you were going to try to go with different brands of cards every build, so why is this happening? So, I did this because, as I said, this is Grant's build. I said I wasn't going to try not to do 2 brands right next to each other, of the same, or 2 of the same brand right next to each other. This is actually the exact same card from last time. But, this is Grant's build. I wanted something good for him. And I went with what I felt is one of the best, if not the best, 980 Ti on the market. You could go with the reference version and just be a little safer. But this had one of the highest core clocks I saw. This also had a really good fan system that would keep it cool, so we wouldn't have to add extra cooling later on to add extra price. And it was just a really good thing. So let's go ahead and check it out on PC Part Picker. I'll have to put a little note in the video to note that this is Grant's build and that things like that. Sorry, why did I do that? That's later. And of course, if he wanted to spin out 700 extra dollars, he could always SLI with his motherboard. That I will be showing you soon. So Gigabyte GeForce GTX 980 6GB video card. As we can see, a very nice looking card. Goes from about 681 on SuperBiz to about 690 on NCIX US. So obviously you can read all this stuff. Manufacturer Gigabyte, and I like to go into a little bit more detail on GPUs in these videos because most of you like that, because the GPU is what I think is the main part of the build. So chipset, obviously 980, memory size 6 gigabytes, which I mean should be enough for Grant, definitely, because Grant has 2 monitors, and that should be fine. Core clock 1.19 gigahertz, which he can obviously overclock if he wants to. This card is meant for overclocking, so he should definitely do that. 4-way SLI support, which is incredible. Crossfire support, no. All this stuff. If you want to read this, obviously, go to PC Part Picker, click on this card, it'll give you much more detail. So, back over to the notepad. And for the motherboard, I went with the Asus Sabertooth 990 FX R2.0 ATX AM3 Plus motherboard. So this is a pretty high tier motherboard that I think should do Grant well. I think from what I've heard from Grant, he doesn't like cheap motherboards. From what I can infer from his tellings, his great grand stories. But I feel like a good motherboard is important to any computer. So if we hop over to PC Part Picker and take a look at our motherboard, about $171 on Newegg. If you take that, 164 because of plus shipping, things like that. So from about 164 to about 179 to 184 on these others. Obviously, you can look at all this stuff. If you want to. Max memory, 32 gigabytes. RAID support, yes. Crossfire support, yes. Three-way SLI, by the way, Grant. So if you want to three-way this, I would definitely be using this for higher tier builds, as this is a very, very good motherboard. Plus, it just looks awesome. I mean, look at that. That looks awesome. And obviously, Grant, you can, if you're watching this, you can change up any of this as you want. Yeah. So next for the RAM, the thing that everybody thinks you need to go overkill on. I went with the Corsair Vengeance Pro. That's right, I want to give you a seizure. I went with the Corsair Vengeance Pro 8GB, 2x4 GB chips, DDR3 1866 memory. Now note, yes, this is only 8 gigabytes, but Grant is a real strong believer. Not a believer, guys. Don't hate on him. Why did I even say that? That was unnecessary. Cut. No. So the reason I went with only 8 gigabytes is because Grant is a strong believer in not needing more than 8 gigabytes of RAM for gaming. I mean, you might want a little bit more, for processing stuff, but he isn't really going to be doing intensive stuff like Photoshop, really intensive video editing, things like that. And I went with 2 4GB chips instead of just one full 8 because 2 4GB is usually cheaper. And if one of your sticks of RAM gets taken out, you don't lose all your RAM and your computer dies. You only lose half, which granted is still bad, but you can at least get that repaired. Grab a stick from around the house or something. I don't know. But note, it's only 8 gigabytes. We'll hop over to PC Part Picker in just a second. This is only 8 gigabytes, but it is 1863. 1863. I got messed up with that DDR3. It is 1866 megahertz, which is very fast RAM. Well, it's not the fastest, but it's fast. So let's go ahead and hop over to PC Part Picker. As you can see, it's only about $55. So that's very good. As you can see, all the price drops and things like that. And all the specifics. DDR3 1866, price per gigabyte $7. All this magnificent, beautiful things, and it looks pretty cool, if I do say so myself. So that's all about the RAM you really need to hear. 5 stars, by the way, if you're wondering. And next, the the hard drive, the thing that stores all your unnecessary items. So, no, I did not go with the backup drive for this build because, I mean, Grant already has a bunch of extra backup drives in his old system, so that he hasn't even used it yet. So, I went with the Western Digital if I can say things right today. I went with the Western Digital Caviar Blue 1 terabyte, 3.5 inch, 7,200 RPM internal hard drive. That is something of a mouthful. So note this is a 7,200 RPM hard drive, very fast, not SSD speeds obviously, but very fast. I went with the Caviar Blue. I mean, I don't really think it makes much of a difference. It's just a 1 terabyte hard drive, guys. It's not that interesting. Hop over to PC Part Picker. Oh, dang it. Okay, there we go. As we can see here, if I can find it, where is it? Oh, yep, here we go. About $50 on Outlet PC to about 65 on PCM. But yeah, price per gigabyte 52 cents, which is no 0.52 cents. 0.052 cents. That's pretty good, I think. And you know, little picture there if you wanna, yeah, do some magic and zoom in on that. Not like you're gonna be looking at your hard drive unless you have a fetish for hard drives. So I don't know. I'm not judging. Okay, next for the case, the thing that must look beautiful, otherwise you have a flip out and you know you can go Leroy. Sorry, this is a video for Grant, so hopefully he got that. We went sorry, I'm gonna have to cut a lot of this out. I probably won't though, because I'm lazy. For the case, we went with the fractal. Okay, I want deep breath. Fractal design is the Define S with window ATX mid tower case. Note it's a mid tower because I mean this shouldn't need anything more than a mid tower. So hop on over to PC Part Picker. Fractal design. It's about an $85 case. You don't really need more than that. Oh, and Grant just texted me. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. So, as you can see here, very nice looking clay. Okay, we're back again. Grant just interrupted me. No, this is the video for him. As you can see, just a very simplistic case. Grant is one of the mindset of very simplistic case designs. I don't really think he likes side windows, but he does put his stuff on his desk, so maybe you want to look in every once in a while and see, because some of the stuff does look really nice in this build. So yeah, not really much about that. You can always, you know, go check out the PCPartPicker.com. It's really easy. Just PCPartPicker.com and check out all this stuff if you want. Now, on to the final thing, the power supply. I went with the EVGA 850 watt PSU. Now, I mainly went with this because it was the only 850 watt power supply I could find that was decently priced. So, as we can see here, 80 plus gold certified ATX power supply. About $137 up to about $150, depending on where you buy it, obviously. So 850 watts should be just fine for this computer. As you can see, all this stuff, if you want to look at that. Efficiency 800 plus gold, and that magic. Not really that big a deal, it's just a regular power supply. But as we can see, this should only draw about 500 watts. So this should give some room for improvement if he wants to overclock and things like that. So that is it for the notepad list. If these are just the operating system, I went with the Windows 8.1 because that's probably what he's going to use. Or maybe he just has some spare thing he wants to use, and then just a standard 1080p monitor. But Grant already has monitors of his own, so he can always subtract this from the build. I just went with these because I have these in every single build, just to kind of narrow out the price. But yeah, so the final price comes out to about approximately the money. Sorry, I had to send this file to Grant. Very unprofessional of me. I apologize. But about $1,496, which is $4 under the $5,000 or $1,500 price range. So, build, it's very good. I like it. I wish I could have it, but I'm not that privileged. I don't have that much money. I wish I did. I don't think Grant does either. So, just another episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. tell me if you want more of these. The feedback on the first episode has been good so far. Second one, not so great. It's only been up for a day, though, so I don't know. Stay safe wherever you are, and I'll see you at the retreat. Goodbye, guys and gals.